Calling to order the Municipality of Monroeville Citizens Night and Agenda Setting Meeting for April 2nd, 2024. It is approximately 7 p.m. If we'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Have a roll call, please.
Mayor Grieslock?
Here.
Mr. Hizzy?
Here.
Mr. Poach?
Here.
Mr. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Crut?
Here.
Mr. Adams?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Biondo?
Here.
Mr. Graziani?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here. Welcome. I'm going to open the floor for Citizens Night. This is, if there's any resident or taxpayer who'd like to address council on any municipal item, now would be your chance to do so. We always ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes. That just allows the meeting to move forward in a productive manner. There will also be a comment period at the start of next week's regular council meeting for agenda items only at the beginning of the meeting. And then at the end of next week's meeting, there will also be another comment period for any municipal item. So plenty of opportunities for residents to stress their concerns. But now is the moment of time for comments for any municipal item. I'll leave the floor open. You can stand at either one. That's perfectly fine. Did you sign in already?
Yes,
Okay, very good.
maybe that should go first.
No, it's okay.
It's
You're-
important one.
You're fine.
They can do that.
Please, you're already up. And if you could just state your name for the record.
Hello, good evening. I want to really congratulate mayor and council and all those who work very hard in saving Monroeville Convention Center. I have been visitor there many, many times. My name is Harilal Patel, and I am a resident of Monroeville for last 45 years. Professionally, I am an environmentalist or environmental scientist, and I have worked for more than 18 years in Allegheny County Health Department as air quality manager and administrator. I have completed a course in Monroeville Citizen Police here. The speaker in the last month Citizen Night spread misinformation about HSS and RSS. Unfortunately, the town council, the Monroeville Council meeting was wrongly used by the speaker for the propaganda. As a long time resident of Monroeville, I like to share with you a contribution of the Hindu community, including HHS volunteer in Monroeville. I've been a member of Hindu Jain Temple since inception in 1978. And through the temple, we have been carrying out many community activities within Monroeville, in Western Pennsylvania, and even within the nation. In Monroeville, we have been supporting food pantries and have been providing almost 90 to 100 loaves of bread in food pantry in Garden City every month for last few years. During COVID time, regularly our people supplied food to many places, including Pittsburgh food pantry. Every year, member of our Hindu Jain Temple participate into Jack Sadlak Memorial Cleanup Monroeville Day. Since the inception, we started that thing. We have been active member of Monroeville, and also I am a member of Interfaith, and we have been pretty supportive people before for since it started basically, and also in a community network meetings which we organize almost every other month or so. And subsequent to those, we participate all activity, including when we had a fire at the apartments behind the schools over there. Our community members are Monroeville Monroeville Rotary Club member. Our family, we personally had adopted stretch of 3 mile on Route 286 for 15 years for Keeping America Beautiful program. More of our members participate in Meal on Wheel. And yes, we also meet the fire and police departments staff and support them. In Pittsburgh, we donate regularly to the food banks. Many of our community members have volunteered at homeless shelter, from washing utensils and dishes to providing fresh food regularly for last almost 30 years. Many have participated in Big Brother and Big Sister program, reading and helping and in study and homeless to the homeless children, in providing them also food from the restaurant. Going nationally, in 2005, I had a privilege to join a group of people from different cities, and we went to Biloxi, Mississippi. On Route 10, where we set up the kitchen and cooked the fresh food and served to the trapped residents in that area and also the FEMA members with the help of the local police until Rita hurricane came in that time. Just 2 years ago, Hindu community also played a major role in rescuing people in a flood in Houston, Texas. We probably all remember that. In all of the above activities, HSS members are often at the forefront in carrying out community activities. They are the real sevak, or we call community servants. In my opinion, if there were more people like HSS in the world, there would be a permanent peace very soon. And thank you very much for allowing me to share my thoughts with you.
Thank you. I have a sign-in sheet here. Vasuda?
Namaste and good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Vasudha Deshmukh and I have been here, Monroeville resident for 8 years. I am here today on behalf of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha, HSS, and my friends are here. Last month, you were presented with misinformation about HSS, its vision and its contribution to Monroeville, the state and the nation. We seek to set the record straight with you. Thank you for the opportunity to share the work and contribution of HSS in building a vibrant community in the greater Pittsburgh area. HSS, the largest Hindu organization in the US, it's a voluntary, non-profit, social and cultural organization established in US in 1989. Over the past 34 years, we have expanded to 36 states with 234 chapters, 4 of which are in Pittsburgh. HSS membership includes immigrant Hindus and those born and raised in America, creating volunteering who engage in diverse American social activities such as food drives, free yoga events, adapter highway programs, tutoring in the inner cities, and many more. We also supported local officials, first responders, and hospitals during the peak of COVID-19 pandemic and FEMA during the vaccination drives. Typically, in August, Hindus celebrate a holiday, Raksha Bandhan, where sisters tie a band to brothers, thanking them for their love, support, and protection. To realize Hindu value of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. HSS members celebrate Raksha Bandhan by going to local firefighters, police officers, and health officials and tying a band to them, thanking them for keeping our community safe. During the Hindu festival Diwali, HSS volunteers rally other Hindu community organizations nationwide to celebrate by doing food drives in smaller urban communities. In 2023 alone, Seva Diwali collected over 10,000 pounds of food in Pittsburgh, and since 2018, they have donated over 36,000 pounds of food and more than 2 million pounds nationally. Additionally, during the peak of pandemic, HSS volunteers join hands with other Hindu community organizations in Pittsburgh and other cities across the nation and contributed by making mass, distributing packed meals, and making cash donation to support local communities. Though HSS does not currently have chapter in Monroeville, our volunteers collaborate with other organizations in area of to make a difference in Monroeville community through activities like Seva Diwali and many more. In the information packet, we have brought for you an annual report of HSS activities nationwide in 2023 and 6-year reports of HSS activities in the greater Pittsburgh region. Thank you for the opportunity to share about Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha HSS. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sushil?
The speaker is on. You can do everything outside here.
Yep,
That's good?
good.
All the way outside the
Yes.
parking lot.
We're good. Hopefully they can hear it down 22. That's fine.
Honorable
Welcome.
council members, good evening. My name is Sushil Shinde, and I have been a Monroeville resident for nearly 15 years. And I'll be completing 15 years in the month of June this year. Outside my professional work, I volunteer with the Art of Living Foundation, which is 501c registered nonprofit in the United States. The Art of Living is one of the largest nonprofit organizations. It was founded in 1981 by renowned spiritual leader and humanitarian Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. It is committed to uplifting and empowering individuals and communities through a blend of ancient wisdom and modern science, focusing on stress reduction and mental well-being. The foundation's mission is to create a happier, stress-free world by providing tools for personal transformation. The vision is to foster a global community that seeks positive change and well-being for all individuals. The Art of Living offers transformative, evidence-based techniques and courses that facilitate significant stress reduction. These tools also foster profound inner peace, happiness, and well-being for all individuals. I am a certified instructor with the Art of Living Foundation, and in my capacity, have taught several courses in the Pittsburgh region, including workshops for the students at the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. Today, I'm here to speak in support of another nonprofit organization called Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha, HSS. Some groups within the USA and Canada are systematically targeting this organization. I saw a clip being circulated about one of the speakers, identified as Peter Frederick, who happened to talk at the Monroeville Council meeting on March 5th, 2024. In his talk, he attempted to draw false parallels between what is happening in Gaza and the activities of HSS, and also the current democratically elected government of India. And it happens to be a concern for me because I'm also the citizen of India and the resident of Monroeville right here. I have been collaborating with the HSS and the local chapter for many projects that impact our local community right here in the Pittsburgh area. I had an opportunity to collaborate with HSS on projects such as International Yoga Day, which we organize every year on June 21st in the Pittsburgh area, bringing people from different walks of life to celebrate life and create awareness about yoga and healthy lifestyle. I have also conducted yoga and meditation for their local members. I had a pleasant experience working with the HSS group, whose objective is to create sense of community and a healthy lifestyle among all its members. I also work with them yearly for the annual Diwali food donation drive that we conduct in the Pittsburgh area. We have collected large food donations to help the local food banks, and I have mainly worked with the Westmoreland Food Bank every year in this donation drive. The individual who happens to talk at the Monroeville Council meeting has spoken at many other municipal council meetings such as Capitol Hill, Harrisburg, NC, Matthews, NC, New Berlin, Connecticut, Glastonbury, Connecticut, Bristol, Connecticut, Ricky Hill, Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, PA, Monroeville, PA, Morrisville, PA, Irving, Texas, and he is not the resident of Monroeville. And today I appeal to council members not to give legitimacy to such individuals who are systematically going around the country and spreading false information about the Hindu community and India government, not based on facts, creating social unrest in the local communities. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Sushil, yes, you said it, you did say it best. I mean, that individual that spoke, that he did speak at a couple other meetings, even locally. I don't believe he's a resident of any of these places. He's an author, and I don't believe, I didn't personally, I don't believe any of my colleagues up here put any kind of merit to what he was speaking of. You know, we support you, and we appreciate you being part of our community. I believe that that speaker was very much politically motivated, and more about an upcoming election more so than anything. And so, Mr. Ratcher, as far as that speaker's comments in the minutes, that's probably something we could strike from the minutes?
If you choose to, yes.
Okay, maybe that's something the council considers for next Tuesday, for those minutes. We can talk
We
about that
can't, yeah,
next
he
week.
never came up with an apartment address. He gave it.
He gave an
address,
apartment
but
building.
He never had apartment building. We kind of suspected that, folks.
Yeah, and he spoke at the City of Pittsburgh meeting, I think the next day or the next couple of days after that. But we appreciate you coming out here this evening, and we do support you. So thank you. But I am going to leave the floor open for, we have a couple of speakers that signed up. Robert Serafini.
Mr. Serafini. Hello, Paul.
My name is Robert Serafini, Monroeville resident for 38 years. I was up here 8 years ago speaking about this same person. Her name was Beatrice Morrison. I had the pleasure 8 years ago of meeting her at the Giant Eagle in Monroeville here. She was waiting in the cashier's line, the same as I was. We struck up a conversation, and during that conversation, I saw she was very conversant with the teller, myself. She walked, got her own groceries, wheeled the groceries out, and got in a senior buggy and took her home. Anyway, what surprised me after all this conversation with her, during the conversation, she was going to be 100 years old. And back then, when I talked 8 years ago, Linda Gatos, councilwoman from number 1 ward, we even sang happy birthday to her. Now, that was 8 years ago, 100 years old. On Saturday, I was watching television, and there was a newscast come on, and it was only a short 2-3 minutes. Here she was, the church that she belongs to, in Monroeville here, was celebrating her 108th birthday. Wow. And I am pleased to say happy birthday to Beatrice, and I wish her, bless her, all the blessings in the world. I just want to say happy birthday
Great.
to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Serafini. And Bruce Walker.
Which one? Bruce Walker with the Monroeville Historical Society. I just wanted-
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to thank the municipality and the municipal workers for the excellent work on the Old Stone Church and historical houses. And to mention that this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock, we're hosting the weekly Monroeville Area Chamber of Commerce meeting. And would like to invite the mayor, council, and manager. And we'll be there the first Thursday of every month through, until it gets dark, probably October, probably not November.
When is the chamber meeting?
Thursday, 8 o'clock in the morning.
The date?
The 4th.
The 4th.
April
This
4th.
Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Yeah.
Day after tomorrow.
8 a.m.
Great.
at the old church?
Yeah. And if you come, please do not park at Eaton Park. Park Petco, Getco, or PNC.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thanks, Bruce.
And I will leave the floor open for Citizens Night. If there's anyone who'd like to address council on any municipal item. Seeing no one, we're going to close Citizens Night, and we have a presentation for this evening. Carolyn Yeagle, and she's the Director of Planning and Policy, Environmental Planning and Design, Pittsburgh. And they're here to talk about, along with Paul Estock, the Comprehensive Recreation, Parks, and Open Space Plan.
Thank you. I'll make it very brief. I just want to come up and introduce Carolyn and kind of give a brief history where we are with this. Back in February of last year, we put out RFPs to get some pricing for our comprehensive plan that we haven't done since 2001. Council was gracious enough to help us. We got that passed. We had 4 different companies that made a proposal. So we got them back in May, got together with Andrew and Carolyn back in July, the past municipal manager and myself, and as we all know, he went out for 3 months, and then when he came back, I went out for 3 months. So things kind of got put on the back burner, and with Alex being back in, we have really worked hard to try and get this to where we are right now. So again, I just want to give you guys a quick update of it. Carolyn's going to take it from here. She won't take much of your time, but we kind of want to give you an update of our process and our progress and where we are with everything.
Thank you very much. In terms of the parts of 2024, we're here in the springtime. So what we've identified is we're going to spring into spring as part of this effort. The Comprehensive Recreation Parks and Open Space Plan is going to hit on 5 important topics. They include facilities, which you might imagine right of way when we think about parks. We're also going to be talking about programming, administration, facilities, financing, and maintenance. Now, I don't put maintenance last because it's the least sexy of those 5, but more of a matter of it's actually the one at the base, being able to deliver the services that you all do. I believe it's something quite dynamic in terms of these kinds of efforts, building on a plan that has existed, that 2001 plan. This document will be looking at a 10-year time frame. It'll also be thinking about some of the projects that are going to go beyond that 10-year time frame so that you can think about sort of the next generation of recreation, parks, and open space. Some of the things that are also going to be identified get into quite a set of specifics, right? There, we are going to have information for residents. We will have information for the departments that are involved, both recreation, public works, and all of the staff that go along with that. We are going to have information within this plan that is directed to you so that you can consider on each of the annual budgets how that may relate to some of the general funds that get allocated, as well as the capital improvement projects, right? So the priorities for those efforts can be evaluated each year as part of an action plan that comes to the Parks and Recreation Committee and their recommendations that ultimately they make to you. We had the opportunity last night to meet with that board and got some very good impact and questions that they've asked us to consider. Now, how does this actually have us thinking about reaching out to residents and the businesses, everyone that's here, right? You have over 12,000 households, and we are aiming to get involvement from as many as we can. Through the course of this spring, in April, May, and leading up to Community Day on June 8th, we're going to be working with the departments, with the TV, with your other media outlets to get the information out about how people can participate in some of the key questions that we have for everyone. Really sort of considering what are the priorities that people may have in their considerations, what kinds of things and how do they participate now? To what extent is parks and recreation an important aspect of their household life each day? And just to give you one little nugget to think about as we move into this summer and ultimately into the fall, when things will be coming back to you for your consideration and the potential adoption of this plan that's done by resolution, that there are quite a fantastic number of services, including maybe even the egg hunt that recently occurred, even on a rainy sort of experience. There were, over maybe 700 and some people that came together. What does that mean? It means that presently the municipality is having a recreation department that provides services for roughly 8 cents per day per household. There are so many things done with those funds. The other things that are provided is when we look at over 650 acres of park space that you have in your system, that the folks that are servicing these park acres as part of the Public Works are doing this for less than $7 per day per acre. There is a lot that is happening in those 650 acres. And being able to do that for that kind of allocation is quite impressive. We'll be considering some other kinds of things and again, looking at the priorities that the residents have and seek to have and how that we can balance that out and being able to deliver quality services for the kinds of things that ultimately are supported through the general fund, through capital improvements, through the business community, through collaboration with other foundations and partnerships. There's quite a lot to explore as part of this. We will have a busy spring and summer, and we'll look forward then to catching up with you soon. One thing, I don't know if you'll be having it in your purview soon, but being able to check on the municipality website, we will have the link to the survey opportunities and to things through even the farmers market. We're going to be using all of these ways in which we can reach out to people, and nobody knows Monroeville Parks like the residents do, and we're ready for them to tell us what we need to know. I appreciate the time. If there are any quick questions, I can answer them or get us something you'd like us to think about. Otherwise, we'll be able to consider working with Paul and Alex to be able to get in touch with you. If there is the opportunity just to put something on the overhead, stay in tune for the kinds of outreach that we're going to be doing as part of April, May, and June. This is going to take everyone to the project page. It's going to be a story map, and that story map is going to continue evolving through the summer to give everybody information that they may need as part of participating and as part of the process in exploring these 5 topics. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
You.
All right, council, moving through the agenda, we have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session on this evening, April 2nd, 2024, from 6:15 to approximately 7 p.m. for personnel and litigation reasons. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken in next Tuesday's April 9th council meeting. The minutes to consider for next week, the Citizens Night meeting of March 5th, 2024, the council agenda-setting meeting of March 5th, 2024, and the regular council meeting of March 12th, 2024. Council, any questions or comments? Hearing none, if I could make the suggestion to council that we could strike those comments from the non-resident that spoke.
We will.
We will next
Put it on the, yeah.
I concur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so Sharon, if you could make a note of that, please.
It's in
Thank you.
Citizens Night.
Thank you. Reports of the tax collections. Any questions this evening, council? List of bills and budget transfers. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Payroll report. Any questions? Very good. All those items will be considered for next Tuesday. Moving through the agenda, bids and proposals, the 2024 commodity bids. Mr. Graziani.
In your packet, you have the bid tabulation as well as the memo from Mr. Hugus to myself with the recommendations. Various commodities were bid. Some only had one bidder, others had multiple bidders. It's pretty straightforward in the memo, and we'll seek your approval to move forward on those next week.
Very good. Our consent agenda of old business, 24-2-SUB, Roy Musser.
Yeah, late this afternoon, the planning department shared with us that the applicant would like that to be tabled. So I'm not sure if you want me to read the.
I don't think it's necessary. The item is currently tabled. It was tabled from last month's meeting and is currently on the table. And just to confirm, the applicant themselves are requesting tabling for next Tuesday.
That is correct.
Thank you. Next item of new business, we have a couple items. 24-1-SUB RCG Monroeville LLC.
So the applicant is requesting preliminary and final subdivision approval to subdivide tax parcel 638-R-64 into 2 lots. Lot 1, with an acreage of 0.67 acres, 7 acres, and Lot 2, with an acreage of 13.24 acres in the Boulevard Mixed Use Zoning District. The property is located 3767 William Penn Highway, Jared Jewelers. The Planning Commission recommends approval of this application.
Welcome, sir. If you could state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Brendan O'Donnell. I'm an attorney from Houston Harbaugh. I represent the applicant, RCG Monroeville LLC.
Welcome.
Thank you. My understanding is that there have been several iterations of the plan that have been going back and forth with the municipality, including a submission yesterday with some tweaks associated with prior comments. In general, this relates to the Holiday Center Shopping Center, just over the hill here. This is simply a subdivision to carve off the Jared Jeweler standalone structure, which stands at the southeastern part of the property, to subdivide that off from the balance of the shopping center, the purpose of which is to allow for the potential sale of that Jared Jeweler property as a standalone lot. It would have 34 parking spaces with Jared, and the balance of the shopping center would remain as is with the parking there. And really, through this plan, nothing is changing on the ground other than taking one large lot, which is the existing shopping center, carving off Jared as to its own smaller lot with its own parking, and then maintaining the rest of the shopping center as is. So nothing will change on the ground. It's just making 2 lots out of the one currently there.
Now, is there a sale that's pending, or is this just for the future?
My understanding is that this is to allow flexibility for the future. However, I could certainly speak with my client to gain clarity on that point.
Okay, Council, any questions?
Just is it enough space to add to it if it changes a different type of occupancy? If it changes to a restaurant or something along those lines? Still the parking's in place?
We don't look at it that way. It conforms with the subdivision ordinance.
Good to go.
So if, whoever does purchase it, they'll have to make their use fit the lot.
That's good. So we can shape that. Okay, thanks.
Would it meet the parking requirements as a standalone piece?
Yes, as a jewelry store, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions, Council? I think we're good. We'll consider this next Tuesday.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item, 24-1-ST, ChickfilA.
The applicant is requesting site plan approval to reconfigure the existing parking lot and travel lanes and install an underground stormwater detention tank. The property is located at 4040 William Penn Highway and known as tax parcel ID 743-M-275 in the Boulevard Mixed Use Zoning District. The Planning Commission recommends approval of this application.
Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having us this evening. Michael Takis with Bowler Engineering, here this evening on behalf of ChickfilA. The project that we have before you is a driveway improvement project or drive-through improvement project. Just a little backstory. ChickfilA, as well as a ton of other service providers and retailers, have had to adapt their way of delivering goods and services since the pandemic. How people want to actually receive their goods and services has radically changed, and it changed basically overnight with the pandemic. In response to that, ChickfilA had seen a significant increase in their drive-through usage versus the in-store patrons. And their sites across the country were set up kind of the opposite, where it was more of a balance between drive-through and the sit-down. Actually, probably a little heavier on the sit-down across most of the country. This rapid shift created kind of chaos throughout the entire organization, where you had drive-throughs that were well over their capacity, not able to really adequately serve the customers, creating problems for the surrounding neighbors, other tenants in shopping centers. So they made the decision to basically go back and kind of look to kind of optimize the drive-through operations at stores across the country. This optimization is coming to the Monroeville ChickfilA. What we are looking to do, I don't know if you can pull the
Jared, if
plan
you can get
up.
on the map, on the,
What we are looking to do is, and actually, we'll leave it this way. I'm used to working it upside down, but we're good.
you can flip it, it's fine.
It's perfect for us, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone here knows the site, so.
So what we're looking to do, of course, right now, there are Jersey barriers here that are separating this area from the rest of the shopping center. We're looking to install permanent curbed landscape islands in that area. Obviously, the Jersey barriers are not the most aesthetic in any way, shape, or form. They also have the tendency to get bumped and moved. This will create a more permanent lane definition between the Chick-fil-A drive-through and the Chick-fil-A parcel and the balance of the shopping center. We also are converting this access to a single one-way, so this would be out only. What that does is that allows for drive-through traffic to come in and enter all the way down to the rest of the center, turn and work their way back up the other side, and then accessing the drive-through. The drive-through currently wraps around the building. It is by definition, a single lane, but it has been kind of adapted into a dual lane on a temporary basis. We're looking to basically make that dual lane configuration permanent. So we will have a dual drive-through that works its way around and then up to the restaurant. We will also install an ordering canopy, which is here, and then the meal delivery canopy, which is in this location, right here. We are significantly increasing the landscape area around. We're putting a lot of plant material back in to help soften that paved area. And it kind of isolates the dining customers with the drive-through customers. The drive-through kind of stays isolated, where right now it wraps around the building and you have to kind of work your way through the drive-through lane to get actually to the restaurant itself. We are relocating the dumpster, the trash enclosure in this particular area. I'm trying to think, there's really the changes are really to the site and site circulation, no changes to the actual restaurant itself. We think in general, this provides a much better experience for our customers, and it will greatly improve the operation of the drive-through throughout the entire center itself. I think we always want to be a good neighbor, both to the neighbors immediately adjacent to us and to the community at large. And we think that this improvement will accomplish both of those.
Yeah, Michael, currently on the west side of the parcel is where there's parking for, like, rapid pickup, to-go orders, DoorDash, all of those things. So is that going to be relocated, that parking area?
It will be relocated within the site. It'll be part of the signage package that will come in to the municipality separate. But yeah, we will still make accommodations for those.
Okay.
Do you use any parking?
I don't believe, Beth, are we losing any parking?
Well, there's
it's still
parking with a step down from the drive-through. There's a lane of parking.
I'm hearing a no. I'm getting a no. That we're good.
It is, the parking on the site complies with the code. We may wind up here or there on spaces.
Yeah, there's no internal issues from the municipality, from staff regarding this matter.
Does Chick-fil-A own this parcel?
No,
They lease it through the Miracle Mile Shopping Center?
it's leased, yes.
Okay, and they're in agreement with all these improvements?
Yes, correct. They're working with us on kind of a comprehensive signage package that will work in their property as well for directional signage throughout the center.
Mr. Weldon, this detention, and that all fits with the plan?
Yes, that's a nice little bonus that Monroeville's getting out of this, because there's really no water management in the shopping center. So with the elimination of Taco Bell and the new bank moving in, we're getting a tank with that one, and now we're getting a tank with Chick-fil-A. So that should help, a little bit with the water that runs down to Pitcairn.
Okay, thank you.
And then if approved, how long of a turnaround, or what's the construction with all this?
I think we're still working on the coordination as far as when the restaurant will close down, and how it's going to all come about. I think we find in most cases, trying to work these drive-through improvements around an open restaurant doesn't work very well.
Can't get it done on one Sunday?
Cannot. It is a relatively quick process once the restaurant closes. Obviously, we're taking an owner-operator and suspending their business, so the impetus is to get the improvements done as fast as possible. I don't know that we have an exact timeline on duration,
Probably about like 12 weeks.
so 12 weeks, start to finish.
Do you know the length of the lease? I mean, you put a lot of money in somebody else's property.
I don't, unfortunately.
I think they're going to be there for quite some time.
We're not hurt.
Any other questions, council? I think it's a great project, and we'll consider it next Tuesday.
Great.
Thank you, Michael.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Needed that for a long time.
Council, moving through the agenda to our motions. We have 3 that we will be considering next Tuesday. Mr. Graziani, please.
The first motion is ratifying and approving the updated bylaws and rules and regulations of the Monroeville Senior Center. And Mr. Adams and I have been a part of the Senior Center Council's efforts to update those bylaws, and working with Solicitor Ratcher. We can just do it through a resolution, don't need to do any tweaking to ordinances or existing things related to that.
Do we pass them, then their board passes them? Is that how that works? I'm just curious.
They've passed them.
They passed them already?
Yeah.
Ratified.
Second is a motion to authorize to advertise an ordinance to amend ordinance 1435 to exempt non-union administrative employees from the requirement that they establish and maintain domicile in the municipality throughout the term of their employment with municipality. And this follows, I believe, the police contract, the home rule charter change for my position, the clerical contract most recently passed, and just would kind of be able to allow us to begin to advertise for the non-union employees that are administrative in nature to not be residents of the community. So that will be to give us permission to advertise amending that ordinance.
Okay.
And then thirdly is a motion to engage the services of the Cohen Law Group through the Turtle Creek Valley Council of Governments to assist in a franchise fee audit and cable franchise renewal negotiations with Verizon Pennsylvania. The contracts are up next year, and it begins with auditing the current agreement and studying the service lists and analyzing how Verizon determines how we're all paid through the franchise agreement, and then updating it, getting us position update next year with Verizon. By doing it through the COB, we save about $2,000 or so for the agreement if we went straight up with Cohen. So there's a little bit of power buying benefit to the community.
And we've used them before. And the negotiation is just with Verizon, so Comcast is the contract. We're still in the middle of their contract,
Yeah, I'm not sure when that ends.
but that'd be negotiated separately.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
This was only 5 years.
Very good. Any questions about the motions, council? Resolutions, we have 1. Mr. Graziani.
And this would be to exonerate the real estate tax collector from the collection of uncollected taxes for the 2023 year, and that list is in your packet, so you can review that. It's a pink color. You do this every first quarter of the year.
Yep, and this doesn't get rid of these items. It actually just moves it down to our delinquent tax collector.
Correct.
And ordinances, we have 1 to consider for next Tuesday. Mr. Ratcher, please.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, accepting Scarlet Court.
Any background on that?
Bill?
Well, it's just something that,
One of the Pauls can give a lot more background than I can.
Well, there's a lot of background to it. It depends on how much time I get.
beginning in the year 2003,
Well, Mr. Graziano brought this up. The residents were here last month to have it accepted as a municipal road. We went back through, in the packet, there's obviously the ordinance, the legal description, and the original subdivision for that plan of lots.
Any issues from a staff perspective?
I mean, there's some deficiencies in the plan that were, there was a memorandum that was prepared with deficiencies that were given to the developer. Those were never corrected. I don't see them ever getting corrected at this point, but they're probably items that the municipality will have to deal with in the future.
But the hope is that the last quad will be able to be developed and be sold, which will add taxes, to the community, and we'll be able to get it onto the liquid fuel map, which would be able to get revenue, because we've been maintaining the road.
And most of the deficiencies were stormwater related, which we could do with in-house forces. The only thing that probably would cost some money is the final paving of the roadway. We would have to add it on to a paving program. The roadway surface isn't to a point yet, but at some point in time, we will have to do it.
How much road is this?
I think it's in the ordinance, Mr. Stevenson, 1,120 feet.
Not at this point.
It's right off of Cabot. You know where it is?
What's that? Better not be on.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes.
Sure.
Actually, I was looking for yours.
Any other questions, council?
Yeah, I have a question. Why would we accept this if it's not up to our standard?
Again, that's part of the long story, Mr. Williams. It appears to me that for at least 10 years, we've been in a staring contest with the residents, who've lived there for up to 20 years. They're taxpayers. But they're the ones kind of left holding the bag. Apparently, to simplify it, and I could be getting it wrong, so Paul, feel free to correct me. The developers, when they do developments, take out bonds to guarantee that the improvements that we are requiring to make will get completed. Well, in the financial struggles of the developer not being able to complete the build-out, that bond was not renewed or kept current. And there's really no one left with the resources. There's a homeowner association, and really, they would be the ones obligated to make the improvements, but they really don't have the resources. So what's happened in the last 10 years, no one is able to or has stepped forward, though others have tried to develop that last quad because of this, you could almost consider like a lien laying over their head. And that staring contest benefits no one. We're salting and plowing the road without the benefit being on liquid fuels. We know there's no bond to collect. We have a hope and a prayer that something will happen. Somebody will just swoop in and do that and make us all whole. But the evidence of time is not giving us confidence that that will be the reality. So my attitude is cut your losses, get it onto our system, get the liquid fuels collected, hopefully see it get developed, get some more taxpayers, and have it get into the paving program. It will deteriorate left to its own, and the situation probably won't change. So you'll have a vacant lot, more greater deteriorated road without collecting a mine. So it's not an ideal situation. The staff has so many more checks and balances to make sure those kinds of things don't happen. We understand developers will get in over their head, and their bonds may be a struggle, but we're not going to let them expire. We'll call them so that the improvements that we've approved will get completed.
Okay, thank you.
So that developer there was actually two phases, Asbury 1 and Asbury 2. Asbury 1 was Asbury Court, which is above that there was like a 25, probably lot subdivision that was completed. We adopted that 2 years ago. It was never completed, but the only thing that wasn't completed were street lighting, street trees. Everything else was done. This one was a little different story because there were more significant problems that needed to be corrected. But again, the developer, which was Lee Car Development was the name of the company, there was no more developer's bond. It actually was through Parkville Bank, which when we turned from Parkville Bank, the First National Bank, is when it seemed to have disappeared.
Okay, thank you.
And how much undeveloped land are we talking?
Just one quad unit.
Just one, okay.
1,100.
Yeah, there's 16 total
1,100
units.
feet.
There's three of the four quad units have been completed.
How much would we get for the fuel tax for that small area?
I would have to calculate the liquid fuels money for that. It's not a whole lot.
It'd be real small.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money.
Okay.
Even when we accepted the road at the top, it's not a lot of money, but it is some.
Yeah.
It's more the fact of, it's a private road at this point.
Right.
You're on a private road, and I don't like that.
Okay. Any other questions, council?
It's similar, but yeah.
We'll consider this next Tuesday. Reports of our municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, anything this evening?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My report's in your packet, and I really like you to focus on the first part of it, the goals that I've been trying to be consistent in the first 6 months. When my hire began in January, I was talking to Mr. Stevenson before the meeting started. I didn't know, and when we were interviewing last year, that we would be working on triple net leases and convention centers. But here we are doing that. And so please, if you have questions about those goals, I'd love to spend time with you. And I'm also open to being driven around the community so I can see it from your eyes, particularly your area of the municipality. But feel free to help me see the good, the bad, and the ugly, so I can better understand the community and serve you well.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Graziani. Mr. Hugus.
No, sir.
Ms. Rock.
Nothing.
Very good. Reports of our council members. Mr. Hizzy. Start with you.
Yeah, one thing, I just want to congratulate the Parks and Rec on the fantastic job they did on the Easter egg hunt this past Saturday. Got a little wet, but everybody had a great time. Thank you, Paul, and to all your people. Did a great job. That's it.
Very good. Mr. Poach.
Nothing at this time, sir.
Mr. Stevenson.
I have a few items, Mayor. First one, I want to reiterate some of what Joe said. Monroeville Recreation and Parks Annual Egg Hunt was a huge hit in the community-wide this past Saturday at Monroeville Community Park West. Over 700 community members were in attendance. Over 7,500 eggs were hunted. And 80 awesome prizes were given away. Here are some of the great moments from that event, courtesy of MMT. Jared, if you would put them up, please.
And Parks Community Egg Hunt. We have a variety of age ranges from 2 to 10, broken up into different fields with lots and lots of eggs on each field, as well as an additional special needs hunt today. It's lots of fun. There's some big prizes, snacks, little prizes to take home. It's a quick one, but it's a blast while it goes on. I love getting people out into our parks, gathering together, doing something fun. Always love a theme. So we just set the perimeters so that everybody can come have some fun, recreate, and enjoy some festivities together.
Fantastic. Great job, Danielle, Paul, Jared, for putting that all together. Yeah, it was a great event.
Not done. Thank you.
Floor is still yours.
Okay, good. That was our first endeavor of the year in Parks and Rec, and congratulate them on a great job. Secondly, our next event in the park will be the 29th of April, annual Joe Sedlak Cleanup Day on Saturday, April 27th, 2024, starting at 9 a.m. There will be a grill cooking hot dogs for the picnic. There's also an overview that created for the event. And Jared, if you would, please.
Calling all Monroeville citizens.
Nice.
Calling all citizens for the annual Monroeville Cleanup Day event. That's right, the Jack Sedlak Memorial Cleanup Day is back for its 29th installment. So time to gather your friends, your neighbors, teammates, classmates, colleagues, and roll your sleeves up to give our community some well-deserved spring cleaning. It goes down Saturday, April 27th from 9 to 11 a.m. Registrations can be done online via this QR code or by visiting the Monroeville Recreation and Parks Department. For more information on the event, call 412-856-1006. You bring the ambition, and the municipality will supply the gloves, bags, and vests to help see it through. As always, all registrants will receive a one-of-a-kind t-shirt before the event. And afterwards, all participants are invited to our appreciation picnic and a chance to win one of many amazing prizes. Let's team up to clean up our wonderful community. The 29th Annual Jack Sedlak Memorial Cleanup Day, Saturday, April 27th.
Thank you, Jared. I have one more item, Mayor. I believe within the next month to 2 months, we'll be hiring 4 new police officers. So I just wanted to let the community know that. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Crut?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Adams?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the senior center, Tara and her staff on they're in the top 10% of 1,100 locations for the silver sneakers. 1,100 locations in our state.
The entire state, yeah,
Yes.
that's private and public. Those are LA Fitnesses and Planet Fitnesses, everything. Yeah, they have them.
That's a big deal, in the top 10%. I'd like
It
to
is, a
congratulate.
lot of visits. Thank you. Mr. Williams?
Just want to bring up the Route 22 project. These construction workers are doing a great job. When they're done, we're going to have a great road for years to come. So be patient, take Boulevard, Monroeville Boulevard or Old 22, stay off of 22 as much as you can. And the bad part is that they're going to start working on the bypass this summer also, so it's going to add extra traffic to the area. But just be patient, be courteous, and we'll get through this, and we'll have a great highway system. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Biondo?
Yeah, just what everybody else said. The Easter egg hunt was a really successful event. My kids had a great time. I'm sure everyone's did. They gave out really nice prizes, and there will be nice prizes given out at the Jack Sedlak Memorial Day event as well. That's always a great event, and I encourage everyone to sign up and help us out. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you so much. And everyone else hit the high points, so can I seek a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good night.
I'm out of here.